here at Oran Park Raceway now for the Toyo Tyres Mitsubishi Mirage Series, and make no mistake, these little race cars are weapons. We are talking about big time speed. Melrose joins me, Australian race car identity and driver. Rosie, we're going to see some awesome stuff from these cars, I'm sure.
Certainly will be, being the final round of this year's Toyo Mirage Series. Look at the grid, nice and colourful. The guys are really putting an effort into making their cars sparkle this year.
Yes, very well turned out, and all the guys take their racing very seriously. We are on board here and getting set for a start. You can see just up in front McDonald, and we get set. We're onto the hole, and McDonald gets a very good launch indeed, but Dean Evans starting right alongside him.
We're on board here with Richard Gartner in the Platronic Mirage as he races down the outside into the fast turn one here at Oran Park.
Yeah, Dean Evans takes command as they go into turn one. Up the inside comes McDonald in the Maxi Steel Equities car, the car that we're used to associating with Yanis Derham's. McDonald has taken over, got quite a bit of racing pedigree, does Macca, they tell me, Melrose.
Certainly has been racing the V8 Brutes category in the Pro Car rounds, and he's going to have a bit of a run here in the front wheel drive car.
Oh, look at this, right up the inside comes Gartner in that Platronic entry. I would say that the Toyo Tyres Mirage must seem a little bit more compact than the Brutes. The Brutes would be like a limousine compared to this. These cars are a lot more nimble.
Not only nimble, but Jesus, these things come out of the corners pretty fast. Look at the way these things go up over the bridge. They're flat out. Third gear across the bridge. That's something like about 100 mile an hour off the bridge. Really good handling on these Toyo tyres with the Rally Art suspension.
Yes, looking back in the order, the number 30 RSL.com machine. Good to see so many guys have got some good corporate support. Martin Bailey. And here comes the Platronic number 12, carrying our onboard cameras. I noticed further back in the order, Francois Joy didn't get the best of starts. Oh, we're Bush.
Brangwyn's going off with the dirt at the top just before they get over the dog leg. Beaters there, you can see in the blue car, not having the best of runs, had a good qualifying position, but lost it from the start.
Well, Gartner all over the tail of McDonald, that Platronic Ascot number 12. You're watching the Toyo Tyres Mitsubishi Mirage Series from Sydney's Oran Park Raceway, the shorter circuit. They peel in on very tight left-hander coming up here, and Dean Evans, hasn't he taken to racing like a duck to water?
Certainly has been. He's been the class driver of this year's series, been putting on probably just about pole at every round. Missed out a couple of rounds there.
We got the wipers.
Richard's grabbed the wiper plate as he's got the big opposite lock there in the under brakes there. As they come under the bridge, you can see, look how tight it is. Brangwyn up the inside. Here comes, look at it, Francois Joy having the big under brakes. Kurt Beaters tucking his nose in there as well. Hasn't quite come off. Brangwyn holds his spot.
Very good drive from the Dent Buster entry back to the Carrila number 16. Wow, I'm just wondering whether Gartner maybe is a weatherman. Maybe he knows something's coming, or whether he just went for the indicator and copped the wipers instead. Certainly it's busy times indeed in the cockpit. Back that Maxi Steel car in the second spot, still Gartner in third. Great scraps going on. There is Francois. And the number 7 Dent Buster entry. Good racing, Mal. Good circuit for it.
Look at them using all the curbs there. As we see McDonald back up there, jumps the thing off the curbs as they come out of Sutton's corner up towards the dog leg. Dean Evans really has got a well and truly established gap on the rest of the field.
Yes, got the Go Fast Racing stripes on the front of the number 11, and as you said, has really been the form driver. Very exciting race. He got the backing from Momo. Right ahead of him is pretty well clear track, but if you look back, it's all very busy. There is Andrew Taplin, the Taplin Real Estate. Number 88 entry, very consistent Tapo.
Certainly has been. He's been a race winner at one of the rounds at Sandown. So Andrew buying the car off Michael Brock from South Australia, makes the pilgrimage over to do all around. So really keen competitor.
The Krypton Discs entry of Taplin going by now. I thought just then, just watching the entry into that last left-hander before the main straightaway, the Gartner opened the door right up for him and then went very wide.
Well, certainly did. It's all about exit speed with these Mirage. You have to keep the revs up. The rev range only between about 5,800 to 8,200 RPM. You drop it below that 5,800, comes off the second cam, doesn't pull out of the corners at all.
Here is your leader, Dean Evans, and Howe doing the biz out in front very convincingly. Wow, good gap back to second, back to that Maxi Steel entry of McDonald. I'm impressed with McDonald, hasn't taken him very long at all to adapt to these cars. Taplin back in the third spot, then back to the Platronic entry of Gartner in fourth.
Not to say that McDonald hasn't had a bit of racing experience. 10 years ago he was racing in the Australian Production Car Championship, had a bit of a 10-year, been a bit of a rest you'd say, and now has come in really strong and bought another race car, and it just borrowed this off Yanis for the weekend.
Just like riding a horse, they say, or riding a bike, whichever you prefer. I just saw the Actron Air entry of Graham Muddle further back in the order. He's got a bit of racing heritage as well, as we're back on board with Gartner. These little cars getting the tail right out. Oh, right out. Big mistake then from Taplin. We know he's a Taplin Real Estate, but we didn't expect him to be checking out the Oran Park Real Estate. Here was the passing effort up the inside. You see Gardner just open the door. Why, come on in.
Certainly a bit of understeer there, I can see, and Gartner's had to get out of the throttle, which has allowed Taplin had the faster run up the inside. But here we go. Dean Evans really has been the class of the field here at Oran Park and throughout the whole of the series when he was introduced to the Mirage series back when he was a journalist that Ross Williams from Southern Mitsubishi gave him a steer of one of his cars, and then he came back and bought one.
Yes, Fast Fours magazine. He was, of course, the front man for that magazine for quite a while. Further back in the order, good scrap starting to break out. Gilkison, number 38 car, right behind Muddle.
Certainly Kevin Gilkinson, the Toyota Tyres Mirage representative. He's actually having a drive of one of Ross Williams' car, sponsored here today by Blair's Tyre Service. Great to see Kevin in the field.
You think he could have got a hold of some cheap rubber?
I think he probably would have done a good deal.
Fairly well connected, I would say. Oh, look at this, right on the outside ripple strip. You just saw then that Gardner got the car very unsettled. Look at him checking in the mirrors. Oh, look, he's shaking his head big time. Now, is that the guy behind him, or is he filthy with himself, Mal?
I think he's probably had a bit of a punt from behind. He's probably trying to see what he's on. Another big punt as Brangwyn gets a bit of a shunt there from Kurt Beadle. Look, the headlights hanging out from the Carrera pastry car as they go running down the main straight. Notice how Kurt had to get out of the throttle and how much run he lost going down the hill.
Yeah, there is Francois Joy back in the field, the number 77 car, right in behind James Dutton, the Victorian from Dutton Sporting Cars entry. And here comes your leader. Dino's just looking so strong. We only get quick glimpses of him. It's just a red blur. McDonald back in a second spot, and it's been a raffle for third because Tapo's tried a few times to throw it away. They're spread out a little bit here now at Oran Park Raceway. It's the Toyota Tyres Mitsubishi Mirage Series, and there is that 28 car we spoke of earlier. Got the big mean eyes at the back. Whoa!
Michael Brock taking over the Dragon Financial Services car off David Borger's got a bit of a hand injury this weekend. Michael having a return visit to the Mirage Series after a very successful couple of seasons with us.
Also backed by Webasto. Wow, there's some debris, and that looked like a whole front bumper or something like that hanging off the corner. Not surprisingly, everybody gets right into it. Jones on the outside there. Big pass, Kim Jones.
Kim Jones, Kevin Gilkinson in the two Southern Mitsubishi sponsored cars. Great job that Kim Jones has done here in turning up, not having a drive of these cars for nearly 2 years.
I think I found out who dropped the bumper, Mel. I think it might have been Muddle. He's dropped the front bumper right off, so it's some dramas for him. Oh, look at this, very sideways into the right-hander. Right behind is Kim Jones. So Muddle could be in just that at the moment.
Just wondering if Brother Brad's here watching the telecast to see how the team manager of the Ford team's going.
Yeah, it's good to see that you guys have so many high-profile members of different forms of motorsport involved in this Toyota Mirage Series. Meanwhile, the battle rages once more. The 19 Penrith Mitsubishi entry of Shane Brangwyn closing right in on Gartner, who has had a few moments so far in the race. Only one lap to go. McDonald closing in. That bright green Maxi Steel machine up behind this man right here. The Serious Performance Videos, number 11 Momo entry of Mean Dean Evans. He's kicking butt.
See how under brakes just pick the back wheel up off the ground there. That's how stiffly sprung these Mirages are. Great handy little pocket rockets.
Long way back in third at this point. I think it might be Taplin if he's able to hold on. Here is your winner though, out in front as he has been pretty well all season. Dean Evans, great drive in the Serious Performance Videos Momo, number 11. Good drive from McDonald too in second in that Maxi Steel car. So Andrew Taplin will claim third, back to Richard Gartner, Shane Brangwyn, Kurt Beater, back to Peter Lemus and James Dutton rounding out the top 8. Good stuff from Oran Park, the Toyota Tyres Mirage Series. Turning it on once more, and that man, Dean Evans, how are they going to stop him? With a piece of 4x2 right between his eyes.